Hi, there is Bibi here, and I was looking forward to share a project using a partial die cutting technique, and today I'm blogging about it. I'm independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the UK, and my blog is www.bbcameron.co.uk. So I made a very easy and minimalistic card, and also a shadow box card. It folds flat and it fits perfectly in an envelope for easy postage. You can also add a little bit of magic. And when I finished the card, I thought that might be a good idea to add a LED light at some point, but the tea lights I have are a little bit big at the moment, so this is just to give you an idea and to show you how beautiful that looks in the dark. Okay, so let's make it. We are going to need two pieces of cardstock. This is the width of an A4 sheet of cardstock and the height is 5 inches. These two pieces are identical, and now I'm going to grab my scoring board and I'm going to score at 1.5 inches from each side, like so. I'm going to do exactly the same with both pieces. Once we have the two pieces with the scoring lines, I'm going to create a frame 1.5 centimeters or 5/8 of an inch from those scoring lines and the top and the bottom edge, like I'm doing here. And then I'm going to trim it. You can use also the stamping trimmer, but I'm going to use a craft knife to create that window there. And as I use a pencil to trace the lines to cut the frame, I'm going to use an eraser just to delete those lines. And with the craft knife, I fix any imperfection in the frame. So now I'm going to check how these look together. I'm going to fold the scoring lines in both pieces, and I'm going just to place the pieces together to see how they look. So they should look like this. Now I'm going to use a 6 inches by 5.5 inches piece of whisper white cardstock, and I'm going to score at 3/8 of an inch from each side. I'm scoring this in the side that measures 6 inches, okay? This is the side which is important because when we put this piece in the box, like so, that piece fits there. You will understand a little bit better once I put that piece here in the big shot. So this is the piece, and I'm going to align it with the edges of the big shot. You know, the platform of the big shot is 6 inches width. So now I'm going to grab the dies. This is Perfect Pines dies from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to use the small die and the medium sized die, and I'm going to place them like so. Pay attention how I'm placing this on that cardstock, and I'm going to put the plate, the embossing plate, just like that. I'm not going to put it over the whole die because I'm making a partial die cutting technique, okay? Please notice that I didn't put the dies on the scoring lines. You can see that in that corner, the die is far from that scoring lines. So that's the allowance I'm leaving at the edges. So with paper snippers, I just trim the die like so. Now I'm going to do exactly the same, and I like to save paper and time. So with the same piece of paper, I'm going to place the bigger die and the medium sized die on the paper. In this time, I'm going to put them more together to the center, then avoiding touching any space after those scoring lines, okay? And I'm going to place the plate in a different way. So maybe you will find better or easier to make your partial die cutting like that and not like I did before. So I remove the dies and I use the paper snips to cut the paper here and there, and I can give a round shape as well. Depending how you place the embossing plate on top of the die, you will get more detail on the base of the image. And to make sure that the paper is not going to tear, it's better to avoid getting any detail at the base of the images. This is just to show you the difference, so it's better to get die cut like this one with an image a little bit more solid. So I just noticed that when I was overlaying these pieces like that, there is a big gap behind, so I'm going to make a third layer of threads to fill that space there. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper. This is Whisper White cardstock. It measures 6 inches width, and I also score at 3/8 of an inch each side. And I'm going to place the die in the way I see that it will align with the other ones perfectly. And then I'm going to do exactly the same. Pay attention, the way I'm aligning the embossing plate here with the die is just on top of the base of the die so that I can get a partial die cut as I need it. And now I can use my paper snips again to give a nice shape to this base, like so, just doing a little bit circular or round and not completely flat. So there you go, I have my 3 layers of threads, looking better now. So to finish my project, I need one more piece. And then I'm going to grab a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 5 inches by 5 inches and a quarter. This piece needs to fit perfectly there in the bottom of what is going to be the shadow box. And I'm going to use it to stamp a background. But before, I'm going to use a die to cut a mask. I'm thinking that I'm going to make a moon on that background, so I think you know already how to do this. But before doing anything, I'm going to spray a little bit of ink. This is Pool Party ink, and I have mixed it with water, and I'm spraying this like at 10 inches from the paper. Then you will notice that the water and the ink are going to create a fun effect on the paper. I don't know how to say that in English, but it kind of raised the paper in those areas. So it looks like bumpy. If bumpy is a word, I'm sorry. So it looks quite irregular and patchy because the Whisper White cardstock is not designed for watercolor. So any water or excess of water is going to create imperfection on the paper. So now I'm going to grab my ink pads and I'm going to apply ink with a sponge. This is Pool Party and Tempting Turquoise. Inks are water-based. And one tip when you are sponging is using behind a non-sticky surface. This is a glass mat, so I can easily apply the ink on that surface and drag it slowly towards the center of my cardstock. And in that way, I avoid getting scratches or marks of the sponge on the cardstock. I don't know if you notice that every time that I apply ink with the sponge over those areas I have splattered with water and ink, these splatters get darker and darker. So that's a nice effect as well to apply on backgrounds. And now I'm going to use Whisper White craft ink and Stampin' Up sponges, which are actually gray for sponging. And I'm going to apply the ink all over just to soften it and to try and blend all the colors together. And I'm going to clean my board surface to keep going. Now I'm going to grab this stamp set, is Holly Jolly Greetings from Stampin' Up as well. And I'm going to grab this stamp, which is absolutely lovely for backgrounds. It has stars. So I'm going to stamp this with Versamar ink, but I need to make sure that all the inks I have applied are dry. And before stamping, I'm going to use the embossing body, which is an anti-static powder, perfect for embossing. So I'm going to stamp this and I'm going to apply gold embossing powder. And then I'm going to use my heat tool to heat the embossing powder up. And I'm done. So now all I have to do is put all my pieces together. I'm going to start by pasting the background first. Once the background is nice and flat there, I'm going to paste the layers with the trees. So I'm going to use combo multi glue to get this well pasted there, and I'm going to apply the glue only in that little flap, and I'm going to paste it. You can paste it on the edge, just perfectly align it with the edge, or a little bit up. So that last layer is going to be a little bit up than the others. And then I paste the other one just there, as I'm showing there. And then I'm going to paste the last one, like so. And to finish, I'm going to paste the other side, and I'm going to use glue there. Pay attention and not pasting all the layers together. We need to paste those layers with the side panel, like so. And once this is all pasted, it's going to look like this. Move the paper with your hands to give shape. Remember that the paper is flat, so you need to give it memory. So that's what I'm doing here, and make sure that everything is well pasted. I just noticed that I forgot to die cut the moon, so I have to make another one. So I'm going to spray some pool party ink with water. It's mixed with water, and I'm going to grab the 2.25 inches circle stitched shape. It's from the Stitched Shapes Frameless dies from Stampin' Up. This completely brand new product. And this is the die I get. I don't have to use my sewing machine anymore. I'm so happy with these dies. So these are the dies. You get circles, you get ovals, and you get squares in that package. So I'm going to stamp this sentiment here with Station ink. Why Station? Because Station provides very fine lines when you stamp. So I like Station for this kind of projects. There is another inks, they are quite a bit thicker, but this one is just perfect for this. I like it. And because the stamp has very little fonts, okay? So Station is ideal, but you have to be careful. You have to keep the stamp pressing down for a while so you get all the image stamped. And now I'm going to paste this together. I'm going to use double-sided tape. This is tear and tape. Tear and tape. Is that the name? Please correct me. You can make a comment underneath the video if you want to. I think it's tear and tape. I use it a lot and I love it. It's kind of strong and it's easy to remove the backing of the tape. It's not like other tapes that you take forever to get rid of the backing of the tape. So if you see here, I'm going to stamp as well a little banner. I cannot leave the card alone. And I'm going to use, again, Holly Jolly Greetings. And it's just stamp a little banner like so, and I'm going to paste this before I paste everything together, kind of easier pasting the banner before. And I'm also going to use this paper crimper to just to crease the paper or to give this corrugated effect to the paper. And then I decide to use also one of the stars dies in the package of the Perfect Pines dies, just to give a little bit of something, and also tie a bow using thread. This is lining thread from Stampin' Up. You have to forgive me because after 2 years of being in Stampin' Up, I still struggle with all the names. I remember the names, but I have to think slow. You will be done. Yeah! Cannot believe I made this video in one day. Honestly, I'm not paying too much attention in the way I speak because for more than I repeat and repeat, I cannot do it better. So, I'm not English speaker, you have to forgive me. And if there is something that you don't understand, the image can help you a little bit. I didn't add the measurements in centimeters because I cannot guarantee that they are going to fit perfectly. However, in my blog, you can find the measurements of all the pieces. It's a list there, and there is the estimate in centimeters. But once you see this video and you see how easy it is to make this, and you will notice that you can make it, you will understand the logic of this card, how easy it is, and you can make your own. And you can fix anything with your snippet like I'm doing here. I just didn't paste it perfectly. So don't forget, this is a piece of paper folded. It's a card. It doesn't have to be perfect. The perfection of this kind of project is because you made them with your hands. You spend time making them, and it's for someone special. I love when my sister-in-law, and she is the one who get the most beautiful printed cards in the world, and she said to me, Bibi, I never been yours. I keep them as part of the decoration in my house, especially those in Christmas. So that's lovely that people keep and treasure one of your cards, one of things made by yourself. So, and you can cheat putting a LED light there, and this will look awesome. I know there might be a more elegant way to attach this light to the card, but then it won't fit in the envelope. So you decide what to do with this project. I will think in a future how to do this in a better way. For now, just like that, it was nice. What do you think? Do you like it? I like it. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration, or to buy Stampin' Up! Products anytime. Thank you very much for watching, and happy crafting! Bye! This is ready to go in the mail.
Hey, hey! Stampin' Up! Worldwide! Here we go! On my way up, cause it's up to me. Growing in a field of possibilities, and I'm loving and exploring my creativity. There's always room